Good evening. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Welcome to Tyrone Bowman Tonight. This evening, I'm going to begin one of a two-part teaching lesson entitled Persistence. Oftentimes, individuals want so much out of life, and the very thing or things that they desire to be, to do, and to have, they could have them. But too many individuals, they're giving up, surrendering, they're throwing in the towel. I've coined the phrase never surrender, never quit. In addition to my spiritual core and my spiritual beliefs, which I will keep to myself because I don't want to impose them upon anyone else, these are the two things that I live by: never surrender, never quit. If you're going to achieve any measure of success in life for whatever you desire, in the words of the late Reverend Ike, whatever you desire to be, to do, and to have, you're going to have to learn to be persistent. Because if you're not persistent, nothing is going to work out for you. Someone says, well, Tyrone, you seem to have it all together. Let me tell you something very plainly as I look into the lens of this camera. I've been through a living hell. I've been through deep trials, deep tests, deep heartache and pain, just like everybody else. I know what it is to be evicted. I know what it is to have your entire life fall apart. I know what it is to lose every material possession that one has. I know what deep betrayal is. I know what it means to be deeply in love with someone and have that person destroy or attempt to destroy the very essence of your being. But I'm here to tell you, I also know what it's like to never surrender and never quit. As I told you from day one when this program began, I am an inspirational, motivational teacher. I am not a motivational speaker. And I like to use real life circumstances and situations from things that I've studied, from people that I've counseled, prayed with, ministered to. In a previous life, I was a spiritual leader. I was a pastor. But that time is past now. That time is over. I'm in a different vineyard with a different call, a different goal, a different assignment, a different mission. Listen to me, America. I want you to listen to me from the depths of my heart and soul. This is a great nation, and it can still be a great nation, despite all of the internal conflict and problems that this nation has experienced and is experiencing right now. There is a resolve within the infrastructure of this nation that other nations of the world just don't have. But we have it. I told you before, when I make mistakes and blunders, I'm not taking them out. I'll just keep it moving. Why? Because it shows a human side. Sometimes we fumble our words. Sometimes we can't get them out the way that we want to. No one is impervious to not messing up. We all mess up at some point in time. I believe in the concept of freedom. I believe in this Constitution. I believe in the Bible. I believe in the Quran. I believe in the New World Translation of Holy Scriptures. I believe in visions. I believe in angels. I believe that there is a land of the immortals where the omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent God rules and reigns. I have respect for all faiths, for all peoples, all nationalities, all ethnic origins, and all religions. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm teaching the way that I do. We must learn to tolerate one another. And in order to achieve goals, in order to accomplish an agenda, in order to rise above poverty, to come away from pain, heartache, disappointment, rejection, and sorrow, we must collectively, persistently pursue the desires of to be, to do, and to have. Someone right now, you're thinking about giving up. You've lost everything, you're about to lose everything, and you don't even know why you're going through the things that you've gone through. It takes someone to have been through something terrible to encourage those, inspire and motivate those. So these are not just idle words that are being spoken out of my mouth. I have empathy with men and women. Yes, I do. And I feel pain. Pain is real. Pain is relative. Everybody feels pain. So whenever you tune into Tyrone Bowman tonight, sometimes it's going to be entertaining. It'll be great laughter. It's going to consist of interviews as soon as I, figure out how to get all my interviews off of Facebook onto YouTube. You'll be able to experience some of the greatest interviews, in my opinion, that I've ever conducted. Just speaking to ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So having said that, let's get on with the lesson for tonight. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. I'm your host, Tyrone Bowman, and we're talking about persistence. It's time for the teacher to put on his reading glasses. All right, class is in session. Let's get down to business here tonight. All jokes aside. The word persistence is defined as, listen, firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Once again, firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition, in spite of your trials, in spite of the hardships, in spite of the tests, in spite of the disappointments, in spite of the heartache and pain, in spite of the rejection, in spite of how many times you have failed, get back up. Don't wallow in despair. Don't wallow in defeat. Listen, how many sports figures were defeated even before they became winners? They all had a beginning. Do you think that the greatest tennis players in the world at the beginning of their careers won every match? No. Do you think the greatest boxers or the greatest athletes or the greatest entertainers, when they were relatively obscure and unknown, who would have thought that men and women would rise to such prominence in life? But they never surrendered. They never quit. They did not give up. You cannot give up. You cannot surrender. You cannot quit. I won't let you surrender. I won't let you quit, because night after night after night, I'm coming on. Oh, yes, I am. Some days I'll be early, some days I'll be late, but I will be here. And for those of you that want to be, to do, and to have, for those of you that want to live, laugh, and love, for those of you that want to be free of oppression, fear, worry, for those of you that want to escape bitter memories of the past, this program is for you. I didn't say it was going to be easy, but it can be done. You can reinvent yourself. You can start your life over again. Don't listen to what people are saying. Don't listen to negative thinking, speaking, acting, doing pessimistic people. Don't let people tell you what you can't do. Don't allow them to tell you what you can't have. So what if you failed? So what if you're strung out on drugs right now? That is not your life. So what if you're an alcoholic, or you have a setback and you may be going through some difficult times? That is not who you are. That's not the real you. I listened to a story last night. I'm not going to call her name, of a well-known actress and who was a political commentator at one point in time, and etc. And she told her heart-wrenching, breaking story of having been addicted to drugs and coming from a dysfunctional family, and how she lived with hurt and pain. And now she's using it after having been sober and clean and free for 5 years to help others. Out of pain can come power. Turn your pain into power. How can I do that, Tyrone? Look on the inside of you. Humble yourself. Stop thinking that you can do everything by yourself, because you can't. Don't be afraid to call upon the Almighty. Don't be afraid to get in touch with the spiritual aspect of your life. I mean that sincerely. Don't be afraid to pray. Don't be afraid to say, hey, you know what? I can't do this alone. If you need professional help, you get professional help. If you need someone to confide in and talk to that does not have diarrhea of the mouth. That's the term I used to hear growing up. You know, the older people used to say that a lot. You know, I would tell people you got diarrhea in the mouth, meaning you never shut up. So that's why I'm laughing. You can overcome, y'all. You can do this. You will survive it. So don't allow the fact that failure has come. You may be coming out of a terrible relationship, or you may be in the midst of one. Begin anew. If you have to come out of it with nothing, it's better to come out of it with nothing and be made whole than to hold on to mere trinkets and trinklets. You can easily get stuff again. I'm a living witness. Here's some more terms for persistence: perseverance, tenacity, determination, resolve, resolution, staying power. Oh, a lot of people can make it to the top, but do you have what it takes to stay there? Can you maintain with integrity? Can you maintain with principle? Can you maintain through persistence? This might be a 3-part teaching lesson. I don't know. Patience, endurance, application, diligence, dedication, commitment, acidity, steadfastness, stamina, intransigence, obstinacy. I'm not going to even try to pronounce the next one. Stickability, continuance, persistence. What is your call in life? What gifts, talents, and or abilities were you given? What mission or assignment are you being called to fulfill? What is your chosen profession or career in this life that you know that you're good at? Well, once you know it, you've got to start pursuing. And you can never, ever give up. Through the storm, through the rain, through the trials, or through the test, through the heartache, and through the pain, through the disappointment and the rejection. Never give up. Now, and I quote, persistence is an essential factor in the procedure of transmuting desire into its monetary equivalent. The basis of persistence is the power of will. Wow. There may be, quote, there may be no heroic connotation to the word persistence, but the quality is to the character of man what carbon is to steel, close quote. Whatever you really desire in this life, whatever you really want to have, whatever you really want to do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you tonight, start believing in the possibility of now. Believe in the possibility of now. When you start believing in the possibility of now, you're going to see your life change. Doors are going to open, opportunities are going to present themselves in ways that you never dreamed or heard of. When you start preparing yourself mentally, psychologically, spiritually, ethically, morally, the doors will begin to open for you. That's why I try not to allow anything, anyone, or anybody to deter me from the mission that I'm on. I'm going to continue in the next segment, or the next episode, I should say. But I want to leave you with this. The starting point, I quote, the starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desires bring weak results. Just as a small amount of fire makes a small amount of heat. If you find yourself lacking in this persistence, this weakness may be remedied by building a stronger fire under your desires, close quote. I'm quoting from selective passages from the book Think and Grow Rich, authored by the late Napoleon Hill. Get a copy of the book. Study these 13 principles for yourself. You are uniquely created. You were born to win. You were born to succeed. You were born to conquer. You were born to prosper. You were born to be, to do, and to have the best of everything under God's heaven. You were born to live, laugh, and love. You can, you must, and you shall triumphantly, through persistence, fulfill the predestinated purpose that you were divinely born into this world for. Never surrender, never quit.